Good morning, traders. Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to this week's Outlook. Thank you very much for tuning in. So the dollar had a small fight back last Friday after a very decent series of declines. And we can see at this stage in the morning, it's slightly lower, but it's very flat as it's still a touch early into today's Asian session. The US 30 finished higher, but we did see a bit of a pullback very late in the session after the cash market. There is a little bit of selling at this stage today. It's down 0.08%, and some of the other futures at this stage we can see are lower as well. But they are pretty small figures, in the red at this stage. So far this morning, we're seeing risk currency slightly higher to the USD. The dollar CAD is trading higher as well, but we are seeing a little bit of mixed start from the majors to the yen, and we can see the Aussies lower, but the rest of the markets are pretty flat. Gold is also lower at this stage early into the new week, as is silver, and cryptocurrencies as well are trading slightly lower as well at this stage, with Bitcoin having an interesting Friday and a pretty flat weekend, and we can see a little bit of selling here. This is a little bit of a surprise after some of the momentum we saw last week after Ripple's court case success, and we will be looking to see if this can hold here, and that's that 30,056 area. A break below this support is a bit of a worry. We also have pretty strong and key resistance up at 31,426. So this pattern here is starting to show a little bit of an expansion at the top, but we still have this support point here. But it's starting to look a little bit more like distribution. It could still be a range in an uptrend, but we'd probably want to see buyers turn things around quickly, just to show that they're still in control of the market. That was sort of like a nice area for it to break out, but that failed with that move back lower, back down to support. So we'll continue to watch Bitcoin this week and just see what happens with it. There was a little bit of news out this morning. This is via Bloomberg, that there's still talk that the Fed is open to another interest rate hike, and it could be expected later this month. That's despite that CPI data coming in lower than expected last week. So that does look like it continues to be something on the radar, and we'll have a look at that as well. But could that rate hike be, factored in, or is it seen as a bit of a surprise after the CPI data? I think that's what's going to be playing on some of the minds this week. So looking out to this week, we have a couple of things coming out. There's some good data coming out today around midday from China. That's GDP and industrial production. We have the Empire State coming out later today as well from the US. Tomorrow we have the Australian Monetary Policy Meeting minutes coming out, and we also have Canadian CPI for Tuesday and US retail sales data as well. So moving on to Wednesday, we have CPI out of the New Zealand, and we have CPI as well from the UK. So the UK CPI is definitely one to keep an eye on. Their CPI has been one of probably the last one that's continued to rise, and it's been pretty stubborn. So will we see any further moves higher? Will the dollar continue to push lower this weekend? Will CPI continue to support the pound? We did see a bit of a pullback on Friday, so it's been such a strong trend last week. It wouldn't surprise us if we saw a bit more downside if the dollar continued to make a bit of a technical recovery, and then we'll be looking to see if buyers can get back on board and get this trend going again. It's been running for a fair while now, this trend, and even though it's well and truly off the MA, it has done that previously, and we have seen a pullback in a new leg. So we are wondering if we will see a repeat of that. That will come down to obviously the dollar continuing to move lower. Now, for the rest of the week, we have employment data coming out for Australia on Thursday. That one as well should be given a bit of attention because we still have this issue in Australia with rates, and is the RBA going to continue to put them up? The Aussie, like the pound, has had a solid recovery after that strong decline, and we'll be looking to see if stronger employment data could support the Aussie, and if we do see another move higher, but it will need the dollar to support it. Then on Thursday we have unemployment claims, and that's really it for the week in terms of data. Focus will still continue on the USD and how it does respond after that strong move lower, if we will see a bit of a fight back throughout this week, and also with other risk markets, say like the Nasdaq, for instance. We've seen this new leg higher with that breakout last week. Will we see a bit of a pullback and then a new push higher, continuing this trend? And also, will we see continuation with the US 30 as well? It's just started to try and test this resistance here. There is a key level of resistance at this point here. It's stuck below. We are wondering as well if things can continue to support this move. Will we see a new move higher, and can buyers break out of this resistance point just here? So that's some of the things we're going to keep an eye on this week. Cryptos as well, they've seemed to started a bit after this strong move we saw last week. So we are wondering if we will see further momentum for cryptos, and if buyers will continue to push them on. So there's a few things to watch this week, and there's a couple interesting bits of data coming out. So don't think it's going to be as spectacular as last week. We had a very interesting week last week, so we'll just continue to see as things come in. So thank you very much for your time. If you are enjoying our content, please feel free to subscribe, and we will continue to push out content this week. And until Friday's weekly wrap video, have a fantastic week. Thank you very much for your time. All the best for your trading, and bye for now.